Let's talk about something very modern and very sneaky because some of you aren't tired from working too hard. You're tired from being constantly stimulated. Let me explain. How many times do you check your phone in a day? Be honest. Not because you need to, just automatically. You wake up, check. You're bored, check. You're stressed, scroll. You're waiting, scroll. You're tired, scroll. Now here's what's happening in your brain. Every time you scroll, refresh, tap, or get a notification, your brain releases a small amount of dopamine. And dopamine isn't just about pleasure, it's about motivation. It's the chemical that makes you feel alert, interested, driven. It's what gives you that little spark of, ooh, what's next? But here's the important part. Your brain is wired for balance. Dr. Anna Lemke, a psychiatrist and author of Dopamine Nation, explains that the brain constantly tries to stay level. When you repeatedly spike dopamine through social media, fast content, constant novelty, your brain compensates by lowering your baseline. In simple terms, the higher the spikes, the lower your normal level becomes. So now, regular life feels exhausting, reading feels slow, prayer feels hard, work feels draining, silence feels uncomfortable, not because you're lazy, but because your brain has adapted to high stimulation. Imagine eating dessert all day. Eventually, fruit tastes bland. That's what constant dopamine spikes do to your nervous system. And here's where it connects to your fatigue. When your dopamine baseline drops, your motivation drops. Low motivation feels like tiredness, not sleepy tired, flat tired, foggy tired. I don't feel like doing anything tired. And then what do? We reach for more stimulation, more scrolling, more videos, more noise, which drops the baseline even further. It becomes a cycle. You wake up tired, you stimulate your brain, you crash, you stimulate again, you sleep poorly, you wake up tired. Now, spiritually, this matters too, because dopamine trains your attention span. Faith grows in stillness, prayer grows in slowness, reflection grows in quiet. If your brain is trained for constant novelty, it struggles with sacred silence. There's a reason Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." Stillness isn't weakness, it's neurological healing. Research on reduced stimulation and digital detox periods shows that even short breaks from constant digital input can improve focus, mood stability, and perceived energy levels. Your brain recalibrates. But here's the honest part. When you first reduce stimulation, it feels uncomfortable. You'll feel restless, bored, irritated. That's not failure. That's recalibration. Your brain is adjusting back to normal sensitivity. So here's something practical. Try this for 1 week. No scrolling the first 30 minutes after waking. No scrolling the last 30-60 minutes before bed. Replace it with morning light, prayer, reading, quiet reflection, conversation. Not extreme, just intentional. Because maybe you're not exhausted, maybe you're overstimulated, and your nervous system is begging for simplicity. When you lower the noise, energy slowly returns. Not because you slept longer, but because your brain finally stopped sprinting. So now let's step back. We've talked about mental exhaustion, emotional weight, soul fatigue, dopamine depletion, broken recovery cycles, burnout, and overextension. And here's what all of that tells us. You're not just tired, you're layered tired, and no single solution fixes layered exhaustion. More sleep won't fix mental overload. A vacation won't fix soul depletion. Coffee won't fix dopamine imbalance. A weekend off won't fix a life with no margin. So maybe the question isn't, how do I sleep more? Maybe the question is, what kind of rest do I actually need? Because rest isn't one thing. Rest is mental quiet, emotional release, spiritual surrender, physical rhythm, healthy boundaries. And here's the beautiful part. God never designed rest as something you earn. He designed it as something you enter. Genesis says he rested on the seventh day, not because he was exhausted, but to establish rhythm. Rest isn't weakness, it's alignment. And some of you have been trying to outwork your exhaustion, trying to discipline your way out of burnout, trying to push through what your body is warning you about. But what if your fatigue isn't an enemy? What if it's an invitation to slow down, to let go, to trust, to simplify, to stop trying to carry what isn't yours to carry. Because here's the truth: sleep restores the body, but surrender restores the soul. And when your soul finds rest, your body often follows. So tonight, instead of just asking, "Did I sleep 8 hours?" ask yourself, "Did I unplug my mind? Did I release what I was carrying? Did I sit in stillness? Did I protect my boundaries? Did I align my pace with my purpose?" Because real rest is deeper than sleep. It's peace. And peace doesn't start in your mattress. It starts in your habits, your thoughts, your rhythms, your surrender. You're not broken. You're overloaded. And once you understand what kind of tired you are, you can finally rest the right way.